Hello everybody, this is MrLEDiecast, and this is just going to be a short little bumper here so I don't forget any information. Andrew is going to go through his 5 favorite cars next for the Scott Dunlap Challenge. We were nominated by Fasterthedragster and Ghostjerker. There might have been a few others. The truth is I have not looked through all the videos yet. There were a lot of videos that responded to this. The end of my weeks kind of are blacked out with work. And so by about Sunday, I start jumping on the videos. I watched Fasterthedragsters and Ghostjerkers yesterday and noticed that we were nominated. So I wanted to get a video out there while this thing was still going on. So I will watch all the videos over the next week. And I will mention anybody else that either nominated us or had something interesting to show here in a later video. Like I mentioned, Andrew's going to go next. But before he goes, I did want to thank everybody in this video. These little contests are fantastic. We've done these before. We love seeing our stuff show up in other videos. We love the fact that everybody gets along in this hobby and that the stuff that we make here at MrLEDiecast goes out there in the community and that you guys really like it, whether it be the videos or the customs or the trades that we do or whatever. It's just been fantastic. And I think it was Snackrelatedmishap mentioned that it's just fantastic that these little cars can kind of hold memories for us. So something that we had as a kid or something that somebody gave us or something that we got during a certain time in our life, this little dollar car can have such strong memories for us that we hold on to it forever. And Hot Wheels and these diecast cars are perfect for that because they're so small. We don't ever really have to get rid of them. They're too small to bother with. So they sit on our shelf or they go in our collection forever. So with that in mind, I will continue with the Scott Dunlap Challenge. Andrew's going to go first with his 5 favorite cars, and then I will be back with my 5 favorite cars. So again, thanks to Scott for doing this contest. Fantastic. We love the channel. If you haven't checked out Scott Dunlap's channel or any of the other people I mentioned, boy, there's just too many people I mentioned. You should just go subscribe to all of them. They're all great. Thanks everybody. I'll be back here in a second with Andrew. Hello everybody, it's MrLEDiecast and I have Andrew here. And we are doing the Scott Dunlap 5 favorite car challenge. The other question was how many cars do we think are in our collection? So this will be the first part, and then I'll do my piece, but first we're going to do Andrew's. And before I forget, because I always will, I wanted to again thank the people that nominated me. I know Fasterthedragster, Ghostjerker nominated me. I haven't watched all the videos that are a part of this yet, so if I did get nominated by someone else and I didn't mention you, I will in a future video, but thank you. And we love these little contests. They're fun. So again, if you have not visited Scott Dunlap's channel, go do so. He does some really cool customs. He does an amazing amount of them. I have no idea how he does so many of them. I have trouble getting like a couple done a month. He seems to do like 1 or 2 a day over there. So before I forget though, I want to make my nominations or else I'll forget at the end of the video. And I am nominating for the Scott Dunlap 5 Favorite Car Challenge, Sick Diecast, Steven Langenfeld, hope I pronounced that right, MrDiecast 1978, one of our favorite news shows. Also Scott's Super Hunts, and I'm going to go a little off the board with this one, but it's one of my favorite channels on YouTube, and I'm sure he has some Hot Wheels to talk about, and that is Dr. Cranky's Laboratory. Dr. Cranky's. So if you have not visited his, he does some amazing stuff with the regular big plastic car models. It's where I've gotten most of my tricks for my customs. So those folks, I've nominated you, and you can join in too. So let's get to Andrew's 5 favorite cars. All right? And these are not really in any particular order, right? I don't think so. First, we have this one. He picked this one out right away. Why is that one of your favorites?
Because it does this.
And it runs over things off screen. So there you go. It is one of the big oversized monster trucks. That is Crustacean. And is this the only big one you have?
Yep.
Yep, and he does love that monster truck rolling ability. So, Crustacean, who just seems to want to get in the center of the screen. What about this guy? You picked this one as one of your favorites. Let's get him down here in the center. So why do we like this one?
Because it says my favorite candy on it.
Yeah, I figured that one. This
And
one
it
was
has
a
rubber tires.
this one was a surprise for me. I didn't even know you had this one. It does have rubber tires. Did you get this at a show?
Yeah.
Did somebody give it to you? I don't remember buying it. How did we get that? We just bought it?
I think someone gave it to me.
I think so. Most of yours you just get people that give them to you. Nobody gives me stuff at the shows. Anyways, that is the Reese's. I think that is the Pop Culture Reese's, maybe? I'm not sure what series that came from. I didn't even know you had that one. So this one is an interesting one. Tell the people about this one. I knew this would be one of your favorites.
When we got it, someone told me to paint it.
Yeah, they just gave it to you, right? You walked in. We got that at the LA car convention probably 2 years ago, I think. It was the first time you went. You were younger. And you walked into a room and the guy just gave it to you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And he said to make a custom out of it and to bring it back. And we've not brought it back. Plus we noticed right before we came on that it's missing its windshield. It's upstairs. But I didn't run up to get its windshield. So the top comes right off of it right now. But we have the windshield upstairs. I didn't notice that till we started filming. It does. It has the plastic tires. And you will have to make a custom out of that. We'll put the windshield back in it when we take it back upstairs. So this guy, I'm not surprised to see him.
There's a lot of colors of him. There's white, purple, light green, and dark green.
Do you remember what his name is?
No.
It's a Speedosaurus. And you can take the dinosaur off so he could ride on other cars. He's a favorite. Plus sometimes he has a tattoo. Did you know that? Does yours have? No, yours doesn't have a tattoo. This one. Sometimes he has a little tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Has a little heart with an arrow through it sometimes.
The white one does.
The white one does. Yep, we have a lot of these. We have a lot of Speedosauruses, but that is one of Andrew's favorite. Not surprising. And last but not least is this one. And just to give you a size comparison, it is kind of big. What's the story with this one? Do you remember?
A car show someone gave me it.
Yeah, our friend's Moods, remember? We were buying stuff for him at a car show, and he said to go back in and buy something for Andrew, and you picked that out right away, right?
Yep.
Plus the guy gave us a deal, so he saved Moods a bunch of money and you got it. Because whenever you go to a show, people just give you stuff. It's got Scooby and Shaggy in there. There they are. And that one has been kept very nice ever since we got it. So those are Andrew's 5 favorite cars. We're going to do mine next, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and now we'll take a look at my 5 favorite cars. This is, again, part of the Scott Dunlap challenge, and well, we'll get right to it. So I picked out, this was tough, picking out 5 cars out of a collection that's pretty large is kind of tough. So I'll show you the contenders real quick, and then we'll get to the top 5. And I didn't go overboard with the contenders, but these were all the ones in the pile that were left that I kind of had a hard time figuring out which ones were my 5 favorites. So these did not make the cut. I'll go through them real quick, but they were awfully close. This is the Ford Thunderbird from 2007. Which I really like that one. It's just something about the coloring, and that car is one of my favorite cars, but really like the coloring on that one. But it did not make the cut. This one was a tough one. There might have been a number 6. It might have been this one. This one has been one of my favorites for a long time. This is this one is from 2003. It's the Chevy Impala, and that is from the Wastelanders series. There's also a yellow version of this that was in a recent video, and now I don't know where I put it, but it's one of my favorites also. Just really like those flames. They're just perfectly balanced on that car. Little skull on the back. Very cool. But it did not make the top 5. Next up is the other car from the Wastelanders series, and you've heard me talk about this series quite a bit on the show. I really like the cars in this series. That one is the 67 Dodge Charger. And yes, I do like those Chargers and Torinos and Cyclones. There's just something about that back end that I really like. Something about big, obnoxious cars. But that one almost made it in, but didn't make it in. Next up on the almost made it in, I'm going to move my little stand there. I don't need it. Was this car. This one is a Matchbox car, and it was from the Scooby-Doo 5-pack from quite a long time ago, and I don't remember the year. I did a video on these. You can look it up, where we had some fun with the effects on it. But this particular car, I really like. Just the idea of the gang riding around in a monster van is more fitting than the Mystery Machine, I think, sometimes. But that one did not make the cut. Okay, so now we're almost down to the cars that made the cut. This is going to be number 6 on my list, I think. Yep, number 6. It did not make my top 5, but it is here. It is one of my customs, and I'm not trying to be all full of myself or anything, but I really like this one, and I like it because it's one of Andrew's favorite customs. In fact, it is his favorite custom that I have. And this one has a fun story, and that's why it's my favorite. This particular Wolfie Donuts is a real donut shop here in Lake Elsinore, California. And we love Wolfie Donuts. And he had a van that was exactly like this. It didn't have the donuts on top. That was my addition. He should have had donuts on top. But it was the real van. We went and took pictures of it. We printed the decals straight from the pictures. I touched them up in Photoshop and tried to match the color as best I could, and then we made 2 of them. We made this one and one other, and we gave it to the donut shop, and it is still sitting in the donut shop today. So if you go to Wolfie Donuts, you'll see the car sitting there right above the slushy machine. So we really like this one, and but it did not make my top 5. It is in the top because Andrew enjoys it so much, and we see it all the time at a different place. All right, the top 5. So here we go. The first one in my top 5 is this van. It is a Ford van. It is a muscle machine, and right now it's in its high raking position. If I push down on it, it clicks and it becomes a lowrider. One of my favorite vans. They made a few of these. They come from different series. I also have a silver one. I've bid numerous times on the other versions, and I will get them eventually. I just want to get them at my price. The doors open. There isn't anything really in it except for the mechanisms that make it go up and down. So kind of strange that the doors open, but they do open. And I just love that van. I got these in a lot. They came in and I saw those immediately, and that one has been sitting on my favorites shelf for a very, very long time. So that is one of them. Look at the detail inside that thing. There's some nice detail. All right, so that guy is number 5. Number 4 is this guy, and he is kind of plain. I thought about taking him out of the top 5, but the truth is my top 5 would not be a top 5 without a Torino, and that is my favorite mainline Torino. And that particular car is what really turned me on to the Torinos. It's not that old. It's from 2012. They've not made a lot of these Torino Talladegas. I think they've made maybe 10 or 12 variations, but that is my favorite. Just really like that one. Something about those colors. Probably like it slightly more if it wasn't orange inside, but it works. So that is number, what are we on? 4? I think that was 4. Number 3 is this guy, Here, we'll pull him out. He is another one of my customs, and he gets to be in my top 5 because this one won at the LA Hot Wheels convention in its category, which was, I forgot the names of the categories. There's like mild, spicy, and hot. I think this was spicy, I think. But it won in its category, and it just is a car that has never stopped giving. It was one of the first customs that we made. You guys know it as the Got Zombies car. That's what I've seen it mentioned before in videos. We really kind of cobbled this guy together. Quite honestly, it's not my best paint job that I've ever done, but it won in that contest last year. It also is the one that's gotten the most attention with the hobbyists out there, and so everybody just seems to love this little car. It's a fun little car. I did not expect it to get that much attention when we made it. Truth is, it actually was was made about a year and a half before I entered it in the contest even, so it has been around for quite a while. So the Got Zombies van is one of my favorites only because it has gotten so much attention and has made me lots of friends over the years. It's like the puppy that you walk out and everybody thinks that you should be their friend. So next up, number 2 is the Cosmobile. Now this particular one is a Matchbox, and I had this car, not this color, when I was a kid, and it was one of my favorite cars. It was blue, and I thought about putting that in my top 5, but it didn't make the cut. This one did because this is the much harder to find version, and I was thrilled with this one because I got it in a large lot of cars. It was over 500 cars, and this one and about 20 other cars were from this what was the name of the Space Adventure 3000 or Adventure 3000, something like that series. It's this olive green with the purple windshield, and I don't honestly remember if this one's from that series, but that olive green is that series. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's pretty hard to find, and I just love the Cosmobile. Nothing says crazy kid car like a Cosmobile. It looks like something that you'd push with pedals or something. And it's a super fast, so it is number 2 on my list. Number 1, and this one is a 2-parter, and I'll show you the top 1, and then it comes with a little bit of a story. This one is the LA convention. I can show you the top there, the collector's convention from last year. And it is the Zamac Mystery Machine. I really like this car. Was very excited to get it. Scooby-Doo, of course, there's Scooby-Doo. Every convention they have 4 cars that are exclusive to the convention, and this was one of them. I have number, if it matters to anybody, I have that 728 of 2400. You can show I showed up early to the convention. So that is my favorite car. Now, my good friend Seth made me a custom of that car, and that even makes it even better. So I'll show you his version. There is his version of the car, all hand painted. If you know Seth, Mr. Sensitivity, he's been doing these hand painted customs for a very long time, and his is right on par with the original. And I display these two together. They've just kind of been together. That was my favorite car for a long time, and then we got this one in the mail, which was a surprise. I was not expecting it, and they have been displayed together ever since. So you can see Seth signed it up there. He has a card that looks very similar to the original. I'll give Seth some credit here. Let's give him, wait, let's get him just a second. Let's get Seth's channel in there. It's Mr. Sensitivity, Mr. Sensitivity, and he's also on Instagram. You'll also know him from running the oh, what's the name of it now? I'm gonna forget. the customizer's channel. I'll post it below. I can't remember. I'll post it below. But he also runs their custom contests there with a few other people. So those are my favorite cars. I really enjoyed this contest. I just love that this whole community does these types of contests and everybody kind of jumps in and plays with it. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention I was nominated by Fasterthedragster and Ghostjerker. And if anybody else nominated me, I apologize. I'll make it up to you in another video. I'll mention your show. But I haven't looked through all the videos. I just started looking through them last night, and I didn't even know about this until last night. So I caught those two first. Very excited to see my customs and Ghostjerker's video. Thank you very much, Chris. You have a great show there. We do a lot of the same types of crazy things with effects and all. So really enjoy the show, but Andrew and I were just thrilled to see those Torinos in your show. Glad that you like them. So for everybody out there, thanks again. We just really enjoy this hobby and the people in the hobby. So I'm going to sign off now, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.